I'm Nicole, I'm one of the prenatal educators here at Sydney Adventist Hospital, and today I'll be talking to you about the coping mechanisms and how you can put strategies into place to get through the labour. When you are first heading into labour and you're starting to get the symptoms of labour, a few things you can put into practice at home is to, one, get as comfortable as possible, because you might be there for a little bit of time before you actually head to hospital. Trying to keep mobile, so it's very important to keep moving. Your body will actually allow a quicker labour and an easier labour for you if you actually keep moving and go with what is being presented in front of you, as opposed to going onto a lounge, reclusing back and pulling your legs up. That will actually go against what your body is trying to do during labour. Another good thing, you need to actually keep snacking. So you're going to be running a marathon almost through this labour process. You need to keep fueling your body with small snacks, so no heavy meals. The last thing you want is a big heavy pasta meal sitting in your stomach when you are going to deliver a few hours or potentially in the later afternoon or evening. So small snacks, keep hydrated, so good amount of fluid on board as well. But basically anything just to prevent getting uncomfortable in the stomach, so taking up space where you're already feeling very full. So that's why the small amounts of fluid and food on board is essential. Don't be afraid to jump into the bath or the shower and use the heat as a way to cope with how you're feeling and if you are starting to get a little bit of discomfort. So the hot water running on your back, or heat up a heat pack, pop it on your back. The small of your back can be really, really helpful when you're starting to experience some of that menstrual-like pain, whether it be in your abdomen or your back or your groin or your hips, which we'll talk about where other aspects of pain can present themselves. Sleep if possible. So even if it's in the middle of the day, try and rest as much as possible. As I said, labour is literally a marathon. You need to try and get as much rest now as possible, because down the track, when you are in hospital, there won't be a lot of resting being able to take place. So even if it's at night time, have a hot shower, then jump into bed and see if you can get a few hours of rest up your sleeve before things start to heat up a little bit. So once you come to hospital, once you arrive here in the birthing suite, it's your chance to set up the environment to make it as how you would like it, you and your support person, in order to bring your baby into the world. That means making it as a relaxed environment as possible. That might mean putting up a picture on the wall of a holiday destination where you as a family of 3 might go to. It might be dimming the lights. It might even be bringing a favourite playlist. So bringing your iPads to play whatever music is your choice. Remember, it's your birth, it's your birthing experience, and you want to create a beautiful environment to actually have your baby in. You can bring in any scents, any smells that you might like and might bring you relaxation as well. You might choose to also have a little bit of a candle light. In saying that, it has to be a battery operated light that you do bring in. There obviously can't be any flames visible in the room. Talking about relaxation, the more relaxed you are during your labour, the easier and the more pleasurable experience you're going to have. If you're really uptight and you're going against what your body is presenting you with, it won't be a pleasurable experience, and you'll actually prevent the labour happening quicker. So what you need to do is you need to try and embrace what is happening to your body and try and go with it. So we talk about going with the pain, going with what you are perceiving the pain as opposed to going against it. Because if you do go against it, you're more likely to curl up into a ball, rather than what we actually want you to do, which I'll talk to you about when we do positions, is actually open up your pelvis. We want you to be standing, mobile, getting that weight of your baby down through your pelvic floor, down through your cervix, in order to assist with the cervix dilating to the 10 centimetres that it needs to be able to deliver your baby vaginally. If that doesn't happen, remember, if that 10 centimetres dilation doesn't happen, then a vaginal birth isn't going to be possible for you. So being as relaxed as possible and allowing that process to take place is going to be vital to a smooth sailing labour. If you can actually stand up, go with and bend forward and allow gravity to assist bringing that baby down the birth canal, it's going to be a lot more comfortable for you as well. So if you can get into positions leaning forwards, over a fit ball, going onto all four positions, which we'll demonstrate in a moment, you're going to assist your body with the gravity change that's needed to drive that baby down the birth canal and hopefully assist with that dilation of the cervix to the 10 centimetres, and then hopefully a vaginal birth is going to be possible. Vocalisation is also another way that can assist you during labour and be a very useful coping mechanism. So that means here in this birthing suite, you are entitled to make noise. You are delivering a baby, so there may be groans, there may be sighs. Any of that is completely normal and completely acceptable when you're giving birth. So that can be a really useful outlet to get rid of that energy that you're feeling and assist you with having a natural delivery without the use of medications as well. So don't be afraid to actually let out your sounds. Is completely normal here on the birthing suite. And support persons, I want you to support the birthing mum when she's doing that. So keep encouraging her. If her outlet is to make noise, then assist her and encourage her to do that. But throughout the whole labour experience, the support person's role is to be there to support you. So keep encouraging, words of encouragement, talk about how far she's already come. Remember, every further contraction you have now is one less that you have later on. So keep remembering that, because if you can accept what is happening to your body and change your mindset into a positive mindset as opposed to negative thoughts, remembering everything that is happening to your body right now is everything that's supposed to be happening in order for you to deliver your baby vaginally. Once you've been on your feet for a period of time, you might want to actually get off your feet and actually have a little bit of a rest between contractions. So laying side lying can be a nice technique as well, just to get that pressure off your feet, because by now you might have a fair bit of swelling within your feet and your legs. So getting a little bit of weight off your legs might be nice as well. So feel free, side lying is a great position. It's also a great position just as a support person to actually reassure the birthing partner again that she's doing a great job. So feel free, grab her hand and remember, tell her exactly what she's done, how far along she's come and how close you are to the finish line until you both get to meet the baby arriving into the world very soon. A wet washer, support people, a wet washer can do the world of good. If mum has been, doing the hard yards, which she would have been, I want you to wet a washer and bring her some ice chips to suck on as well, which can be very, very helpful because her mouth might get very, very dry as she's going through the contractions. So a wet washer on her head, okay, cool her down. Don't be afraid at times. She might tell you to actually go away. She might not want you to be here right now or holding her hand. She might have had enough. Just go with it is all the advice I can give you at that point in time. You're not experiencing what she's actually experiencing. Doesn't mean she doesn't want you around, but at that very point in time, she might just need a little bit of space just to process exactly what is happening. So please support her, and that's not the time when you need to say, hey, what's going on here? She's actually going through the labour and feeling everything that her body is presenting her, so go with it and support her the best way possible. You might walk away and next minute she's saying, quick, 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 come and hold my hand, or quick, rub my head again, so go with that. Another useful technique is to actually be in 4-point kneeling. Now this is 4-point kneeling with pillow support under your tummy. Again, just to get off your feet and get that weight off your ankle and legs. I did mention before that being on your feet and actually leaning forwards is vital to assist with the baby coming down the birth canal, but you can't do that for the entire marathon. So you do need to swap positions and change about. Otherwise you're going to get very sore legs and very swollen ankles as well. So in this position, we're nice and supported. We've got the weight off our ankle and our legs, and we've got our tummy supported as well. Again, an ideal position where support person can either rub back, okay, help her through that contraction, just be a source of support there and words of encouragement as well. You might like to get that washer and put it on the small of her neck as well if she's got some sweat dripping off her, if she's working hard as well. So a good position to actually reassure her as well. Moving from this position, we can actually go back into 4-point kneeling. Weight bearing through your hands, so you're still in 4-point kneeling, but this time I'm going to ask Elise if she can actually rock side to side. So by rocking your pelvis, she's going into the forward position. Now when our uterus contracts, the uterus will anteriorly tilt. So if you're in a forward position, you're allowing that to actually happen against, there's no resistance happening there. So it allows it against resistance, and that opening of the birthing canal happens as you're getting a wide stance through the hips. So you're opening up your hips, opening up your pelvis and getting that weight forward. And that's the optimum position that we want to assist the body to drive that baby down the birth canal. And that's going to be, give it the best chance possible to have a successful vaginal delivery. So this position here can be really useful in the birthing mum can be bouncing on the football. So again, taking that weight off, being constantly on her feet the whole time. Also that forward position, so getting the gravity to assist getting that baby down into the birth canal. But support person, this is a vital position where you can get to and actually aid some of that touch sensation that I was talking to you about. So mum's doing all the hard work, hands on, and actually give her a little bit of massage and a deep firm rub if she wants it. Don't be surprised if she actually tells you at certain points that she doesn't want it. But some women really like the touch sensation, especially as she's got a contraction. So she might say, yep, I've got a contraction, hands on her back, and working up, deep pressure right down through her, near her glute area, and then up the back. You're not going to do any damage. You're not going to do any damage to her or the unborn baby. But anything like this, where it's just soft touch, is not going to cut it for her. It's not going to give her anything. So nice firm pressure up her back, around, and then start again. And then she'll say, yep, it's gone, enough. I don't want any more, okay? But be there if she calls you back, because that can be a source of comfort for her as well. Another useful position is actually using the support person in order to rock with each other. So a few things. This gives the mum some support, so something to hold on to when we're actually doing this technique. It also enables the support person to get involved, and this can be a strategy that you pull out later on when things aren't maybe working. She's tried the bath, she's tried the heat, she's tried 4-point kneeling, and a support person can say, how about we do a little bit of rocking and breathing together? So the position I want you to think about doing, and I want you to start practicing this at home, because when labour starts to happen and you're at home, this is a coping mechanism you can use at home, and then also once you get up here to the birthing suite. So the mum's going to place her arms around the support person's neck. The support person is going to have the arms around the birthing mum's waist, and you're going to rock together. So wide base of support, open up those hips. Remember, we want those hips opened up to allow that birth canal in the optimum position to allow the baby down the birth canal. And you work together side to side. So we're going to go rock, 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 and really get the mum to lean forward and shift that weight forward. Remember, going with gravity and getting that baby down that birth canal to assist with, hopefully, a successful vaginal delivery. So don't forget, this can be used at home, and then you can come up. So you might want to do it whilst a contraction is presenting, and that can be breathing and swaying during the contraction. Or it could be just that she's feeling a little bit anxious, and that can be a period of time where you reconnect with each other and you do something to assist with how she's feeling with her body. Another useful device which can be used, whether it be at home or brought in with you to the birthing suite, is a TENS machine. So a TENS machine is electrical stimulation, which the pads are placed onto your back during contractions. And the way it works is the brain receives pain messages, but having the TENS machine on interrupts those pain messages. So how the brain perceives the pain is altered. So it can be a very, very useful device to use to assist you during labour. A lot of women have great success with using TENS during labour and then having to not rely on the medication forms of pain relief. You do need to hire these prior to coming to the hospital though. So the Adventist Hospital don't supply these, so these need to be hired privately before you come. One thing I will say though is you need to determine how you want to use it during labour. Some people will want to use the bath or the shower, but they also want to use TENS, and obviously that can't happen being the electrical device it is. But by all means, if you want to hire a TENS machine, you can bring it in. You might choose to do a little bit of time in the bath, and then once you've come out and you've tried some positions, you might then want to use the TENS machine. So just food for thought as another device to use to assist you during labour. Visualisation is another tool that can be used during labour, and the the process of visualizing something in your mind positively can have a huge impact on how you perceive the pain and perceive the labour process. So visualizing exactly what is happening. So remember we spoke about the anatomy that's involved. So the cervix needs to dilate to 10 centimetres in order for your baby to be able to be delivered vaginally. So if the 10 centimetre dilation doesn't occur, then the baby can't come out through the vagina. So that's something to think about. How your body will present discomfort and pain through labour is completely normal. So why we go through the coping mechanisms is so that you can understand what is being presented to you and accept it and be empowered. So when you are going through this labour, you will understand that what is happening right now is completely normal and has to happen for a vaginal birth to take place. So if you can flip your mindset, positive thinking, going, I know that my body is doing the right thing, it's a completely normal process for the vaginal birth to take place, then you can go with it and appreciate what your body is doing and put all those coping mechanisms into play. But one useful one is visualizing exactly what is happening. So two common ones that women respond to quite well is the coffee plunger analogy. And that is where the uterus is the ball of muscle which houses your unborn baby. The uterus is an organ, but a muscular organ, and that is responsible for having the contractions. So it contracts and relaxes and contracts and relaxes, and that drives that baby down the birth canal. As long as that cervix is dilated to 10 centimetres, then the baby can come out via the birth canal and come out via the vagina. So the coffee plunger analogy is that downward movement of what the uterus is doing, driving that baby down that birth canal. So if you can remember that during labour, that can also assist you and understand exactly what is happening. Visualisation can have a huge impact on the mind, as opposed to having negative thoughts of what is happening. So try and put that into practice. The other one that a lot of women respond to quite well is a flower blooming, and that's to do with the cervix dilating. So opening up from closed, like a rose opening up, and a flower blooming to that 10 centimetres. And that's two forms of visualisation which can be helpful during the labour process.